So, we are back with another fun-filled Days of Our Lives. Well, Wednesday, we didn't get that episode, but we going to get that episode regardless. But let's go ahead and talk about Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday episode. Let's go ahead and jump on into the trip situation. The trip, the Charlie, that situation going on. Let's just go ahead and jump on into that. So, I'm glad Trip and Charlie had that conversation. Basically, Charlie told Trip that, look, you the golden boy. She don't like me. She don't pay me no attention. She ignores me. She even had me following you around like you were some famous person and I'm your security and I'm sitting up here watching out for you and stuff like that. So, Charlie basically told Trip what basically he been going through. Trip said, look, I understand where you come from. I've been through this. I've been through the same thing. I got sold on the black market. You know, my life wasn't as green as yours was, but at least you did know your mama. I didn't know her. I got warded to the state. Then I had an abusive daddy that beat me up and used to abuse me. My mama really didn't care. So I was going around causing chaos in Arizona till I found Steve, and then he rescued me from all that once I found out that he was my dad. So while you telling me all about your childhood and how you think my childhood was better than yours, just cause you knew Abe and she was always mentioning me, not you. My childhood wasn't as good as yours. So I'm glad they had that talk. I'm glad they had that conversation. I was looking, and when it happened that Friday, I was expecting a whole lot worse from that scene because when Trip was leaving and he was walking in, that look, I thought it was going to be a whole lot of trouble for the both of them, including mainly for Trip, because Trip already around here doing DNA tests that's not approved, that that can't be held up in court. So with that and what's going on, I was a little scared them. But once they calmed down, had the conversation that they've been wanting to have for years, basically they had a little talk. Basically Trip said, your childhood was just as bad as mine, even though you was around Ava. She might have been mourning my loss, couldn't find me, didn't know where I was. My childhood was brought up a bit with abuse and all that. So you had Ava, I didn't have her. And basically I found her during my adult year where she was assumed dead, and you know the rest. So anyways, I'm glad they had that talk. For the most part, from what I can see going on, Charlie finna try to manipulate the hell out of Claire. He already tried this Friday's episode. Even though Ben did catch them, I was kind of scared there too, because Ben also got a temper, and when it comes to situation like that, he always take the I'ma rough you up type of, that type of thing, not the kind of calm, handle it with gentle hands, with kid gloves, that little situation. So I was kind of scared there. Claire, I really don't expect much from you. We know somehow, somewhere, more conversation, more talks with you, he gonna end up manipulating you, and you gonna end up somewhat believing him. I'm hoping you then growed up from your, teenage years now that you adult. I'm hoping and praying that you then growed up a little bit and realized that everything this man told you was a lie, besides the part where he might like you, but everything other than that, he'll basically playing you. So I'm hoping you don't fall into that hole, and I'm hoping and praying that you don't let that bite you in the behind. I'm hoping and praying you got common sense to read through the BS and realize that this man is playing with you. And this is where the manipulation starts. And I hope you strong enough to handle it and tell this man no. Because sooner or later it's gonna come out. You already done made your first mistake by trusting this man, not realizing that he came into town, under false pretenses, then met you, then fell in love with you. You never had it easy when it came to love. So I'm hoping and praying you don't fall into this man orbit, this man web. He don't somehow rope you in and you, okay, I'm gonna be a dummy again and go with him. I just hope and pray you didn't grow up from a naive Claire to an adult Claire. You knowing somebody playing with you or not. Well, I can't say that because then I got to think about the Jan situation and how Jan played you. So only time I'm going to tell how you handle this situation. Moving on to the Xander, Sarah, Lonnie, Eli situation and her twins. Mob ball situation, Philip, Brady, all that. We're going to do all that in the one. First of all, Xander, I don't know what to say about you no more. Like, we know you a snitch at this point. We know you wouldn't approve your loyalty to Victor by any means necessary. But like Sarah told you, you know you dealing with the whole mob, right? So you dissolving that company that Philip was laundering money through Titan, you know that's gonna make them come out to Philip 10 times more harder, right? Because they want their money from him and they're gonna get their money. Whether that mean busting up a few kneecaps and everything else they got to do. So you going to tell Victor, alerting Victor gonna do what? Sarah, while I command you, I got to pop your hand too. You run into the police, you did nothing there also. The police, they don't play around with the police. You think they're scared to rough up a police officer? Do you honestly think they scared? You honestly think they scared to rough up a police officer? They don't give a damn right now. They only want their money. So you think they went mind roughing up Rafe or blowing up a whole police station just to get their money? They ain't gonna care about none of that. So why I commend you, Sarah, for telling Xander to do the right thing. Don't go tell Victor nothing. You putting Victor life on the line, Maggie life on the line, my mother life on the line by going to snitch to Victor about what Philip doing. While you think you done got a little victory, you really don't got a victory because we know if it was up to you and Sarah wasn't there to lead you back in the right direction, we would have known by now. You would have been a victim right now snitching as fast and as hard as you can for you can have the CEO tightened by yourself. So I'm kind of glad you got Sarah there to lead you into the right direction and tell you when you wrong and when you right. I'm actually grateful that she actually married to your behind. That's the only thing I can say about y'all. Nah, I can't say nothing nice about now one of y'all, but I am grateful and glad that she there to lead you into the right direction, including with the Lonnie situation. I am happy and glad about that. And he gonna end up telling regardless, Sarah. A whole CEO Titan position waiting on him. He wanted alone. It's only a matter of time before he go run the Victor in the West and tell Victor what's going on. So, you might got him on a leash now, Sarah. But how long you think you gonna hold him on that leash until he let himself go and go run straight the Victor at 100 miles per hour? It's only a matter of time. So while you stopping him now, this is going to get a whole lot hairier for all of y'all. Chloe, at this point, what are you doing? So you want Philip to stay with you. You calling yourself can protect Philip. Philip said he can protect you. I think I already take my chances with Chloe. Philip, we done saw you fought a million times. You done found you some new dance moves. I ain't got no faith in the new dance moves. You didn't got you let Philip hit you with you let Xander hit you with that steel forehead of his and about knock you on your behind. I'm supposed to believe that you're gonna protect me from the mob, and you let Xander, the brainless idiot with muscles, control you and about knock the devil out of you. I'm supposed to believe that you're gonna protect me against. Like I said, I take Chloe any day over you. At least we know at least you know she'll stab him if push come to shove, like she did El Fidel. So at least we know she down for the cause. If her life in danger, she willing to do what she got to do. Use Philip however. Yeah, as much as I love you, Philip, I don't trust you when it comes now. Don't trust you at all. Don't trust you. I think I already take my chances with Xander. Like, if I need somebody on my side that I know gonna protect me by any means necessary, I take Chloe and Xander any day. Philip, no, absolutely not. And then I'm also glad that Sarah actually taught Xander into, helping out with the whole Eli Lonnie, the kidnapping. I'm glad he helped, and what's his name? Xander. I know you wasn't expecting to hear Dr. Rain's name. Never. Third time when somebody can blackmail her and hit her right where it hurts with her past crimes again. So I already said she was gonna get caught anyway. So she might get caught, but I don't think Vivian. Like, Dr. Rainey, your time being up, in my opinion. And I'm glad actually Sarah taught Xander into helping out, even though I don't think he can help them out really when it comes to her. Unless she still got that same cell phone number that he contacted her with from a year before. Unless she's still holding on to that phone. How do y'all expect Xander to help y'all out? I hope and pray she's smart enough not to still have that phone a year later. I'm hoping and praying she had enough common sense to change her number. But then again, this is her second time kidnapping somebody's children, so I don't put nothing past her that much. So, Eli line stay strong. I know it's hard for y'all. I know, Lonnie. I don't want to know how you even standing up straight. To be quite honest with you, cause like I said, if I was me and you finally had something to turn and now they missing, I wouldn't be able to stand up on my own feet if I was you, but somehow you standing up being strong. I mean, I commend you for that, but I don't know how you got the strength. But baby, you bet you stronger than I ever be, because if that was me, they'll have to be picking me up off the floor. Every time I stand up, they'll be have to drag me off the floor. So I don't know how you doing it. You stronger than I thought you were. Now to the Maggie, Bonnie, and the justice situation. So now we got to go back to, why are y'all questioning Justin? Justin wanted to forgive Bonnie for his own personal reasons. Y'all can't judge this man for wanting to forgive Bonnie and also pursue a relationship with her. Now, Maggie, I respect you. I love you to pieces. I love it when they show you, especially when you get invented together. However, you cannot tell a grown behind man what he can and can't do with his life. You cannot tell this man who he can and who he can't forgive. You are not his mother. You are his stepmother. So you can't tell that man to forgive and who not to forgive. You might not. You might want to go to hell for not forgiving Bonnie for the stuff she did, and then you gonna justify Your reaction with, oh, once upon a time, she tried to steal Victor from me. She wanted to be the queen of this of this mansion. She wanted the money, the wealth, and the power. Okay, Maggie. We understand why you mad. However, again, you cannot tell Justin how he's supposed to feel and how he not supposed to feel. If that man want to forgive Bonnie, that's that man personal business. Y'all need to butt out at this moment. I'm surprised ain't nobody told y'all that this yet. That's that man's decision. If that man want to pursue a relationship with that woman, if that man want to go steady with that woman, if that man want to be around that woman, if that man want to forgive her, who are y'all to tell this man what he can and can't do with his adult life? Got kids and all. Y'all gonna have the nerve to tell this man what he can't do. He got a granddaughter and all. He's a grandpa for crying out loud. How y'all gonna tell this man what he can and can't do? Now, Maggie, I love you, but you went over the top. This, like, I'm sitting there looking at it like, are y'all really again trying to tell this man who to forgive, who not to forgive, who he can date, who he cannot date? So what if he think Maggie is? So what if he living vicarious with Bonnie, with the Emmett Well, Bonnie and Adrian look alike? So what if he living with that? Let that man have that. Y'all cannot tell that man what he can and can't do with his life. And it's about time y'all catch on when it come to that. And stop trying to tell this man what he can and can't do. Like, you lucky Bonnie didn't break your figurine. I was hoping and praying she did. Maybe that'll humble you a little bit. Rather that woman changed her mind, that's that woman business. Rather Justin thinks she changed her mind, that's Justin business. If she used Justin, that's Justin the fool to believe that. It's not for y'all. Hospitality, I mean, you got Maggie, you going off in that episode, you threw me for a complete loop. Like, what is she doing? I never seen this Maggie in a long time. Now all of a sudden you trying to tell this man what he can and can't do, who he can and can't date, what he doing with Bonnie. She cannot be welcome in this house. Just cause you married the Victor Kiriakis don't mean nothing. If you think just cause you're married to Victor, you think you can control who comes and who comes out of that mansion, and also who's in Justin life and who is not in Justin life. Now, Maggie, you doing too much. That's all I want to say is, Maggie, you're doing too much and you need to sit down at this point because you're doing too much. And I just can't believe that you had the audacity and the nerve to snap like that and had the nerve to be questioning this man or judging this man when you didn't make mistakes over your life for twice in a lifetime. But yet you sitting up here judging like, Meg, I don't know where you found this new attitude that when it came to Bonnie, all of a sudden, you should have had this same opinion when, Victor felt this way. But all of a sudden, now you decide to get your opinions in a knot, and I guess you wanted to round with Bonnie all of a sudden. So I don't know where you got this from and where this came from, but okay. Now on to the finale. Jennifer, Jack, Abigail, Chad, Gabby, that whole situation. First of all, we're going to start with Gwen. Now, Gwen, is Jack your daddy? I shouldn't have to tell y'all how I feel about Jack. I just tolerate him. Really, I do. I just tolerate him. I done been through enough of his faults to know that Gwen and what Gwen is saying is not far-fetched from the truth. How many times has Jack abandoned his family? Jennifer, Abigail. How many times has he abandoned his family and went to God knows where? How many times? How many times with his parenthood and his fatherhood was his parenting style and his parenthood and being a dad was called into question? How many times? So I believe Gwen, even if it's true or not, and I believe it's true. Her story ain't too far-fetched. We didn't see Jack in action. How many times abandoned his family? How many times that we didn't see him abandon Jennifer? How many times? We know this man is a half daddy when he feel like playing dad, and when he want to go on a little vacation, you know all he do is just run out of town, tell you buying he gone, ain't no telling when he coming back. How many times that he done left Jennifer saying why and what and I don't know where your father is? Cause I done been through three of them so far, maybe three or four of them when he done left Abigail and Jack and Abigail and JJ high and dry. I done been through enough to know that he is not your parent of the year. He will never be your parent of the year. This man waited till his children was grown to finally be in his children's lives. How many times have we done heard JJ, not Abigail? We only heard her say it maybe a few times, but how many times have we didn't heard JJ say, Dad, you ruined my life. You was not there for me. You was not there when I needed you and such. Cause JJ used to say this all the time. Remember how JJ, when he came back from boarding school, when he got suspended for selling drugs, and he hated his dad just as much as Gwen hate him now? So I'm gonna go inside with this whole parenting thing. I'm gonna go inside. It sounds 100% like Jack. It sounds like something Jack would do. Go get with a woman, go stay with a woman, use her, get everything he want. When times get hard, when the surf get too high for him, it goes over his head. What he do? Run and sprint to the next location. So I'm not surprised or shocked that actually is Abigail's sister. I'm not surprised and shocked at this point because we didn't see Jack in action many times. Been called by his parenting, been called about being a dad. How many times have we didn't heard them say that? How many times have we not heard Abigail say that? You weren't really there for me as a father. JJ even had a grudge against him back in 2008, 9, somewhere around 7, 6, somewhere around there. And when he got back from boarding school, remember that? And he couldn't stand his daddy. Didn't want nothing to do with his dad. Mm-hmm. So I'm inclined to believe everything Gwen is saying. Now the DNA test, that would solve everything. But like Gwen said, and I'm 100% on her side, I wouldn't trust a DNA test if it came from this city, not from Salem. Now we did an independent lab test from another state. Maybe we'll believe that. But other than that, I'm not believing nothing that come out of Salem. She agreed to take the DNA test. So that goes to show you either her mama fed her a lot of BS. It might be true. Some of the stuff she was saying might be false. But when it came to the dad part of her life and ruining her life, we didn't heard Abigail say this a million times. We didn't heard JJ say this a million times. We even heard Jennifer say this a million times. So it all match up. They love that ruin they life part. We done heard all three of them say it before. And now we got a new person that only must know Jack from a hole in the wall saying that you ruined my life. So I'm inclined to believe her that she might be telling some of the truth. But then again, she is a con woman and she is a schemer and a liar. And so we ought to take that with a grain of salt. But that sounds like Jack DNA all the way through and through. That he get with a woman, use a woman, then there's time the tires get too high, he gonna run her to the next continent or the next state or wherever he got to run to find the next woman, do what he got to do. So I'm not surprised or shocked Jack got another child. I'm not surprised or shocked by that. This is common Jack where he used women. Well, I ain't gonna say use women, but get what he want from women and then run away. So I'm inclined to believe it. Now, Chad, Why I believe your apology, I think you need to let Abigail go at this point because you're never going to trust her. You're never going to trust her. You're never going to be able to give her the love, the support you're supposed to give her. The fact that we could say Gwen take ownership of this, y'all basically made it easily for her, Chad. You basically made it easy for her with your insecurities and believing that your wife in her right mind will want to sleep with another one of your brothers. You basically made it easy for her to play on your emotions. Gwen could take some fault in this, but you not trusting your wife and believing your wife, that's a big problem. And you shouldn't be married to her. I done said it time and time again. Why are you married to somebody you don't trust 100%? That woman slept with Stephanie when she lost her mind. Your wife didn't lose her mind this time around. So why would you suspect that she want to sleep with Jake? She barely had any interaction with Jake in your president and out your president. So what makes you think all of a sudden she gonna change that and now they sleeping together? Like I said, we can blame Gwen for all this all we want to, but Chad, you got to take 50% of that ownership also because you the one sat there and let somebody play on your insecurity and your emotions and believing that your wife would cheat on you yet again with another one of your brothers. That shows us right there you don't trust her. So why the hell are you with Abigail if you don't trust her? It's love, honor, and trust. You got the love and honor part, maybe, but the trust part, you missed me with that part. So I'm just asking myself, why are you with a woman you don't trust? You think Abigail, that girl that'll sleep with anybody, man, just cause? You thought that low of your wife that she will sleep with a man that she barely know. She knew that was your brother. You never see them have any type of sexual interactions or flirting or none of that together. You let somebody play in your head and made you believe what you didn't want to believe, but somehow she convinced you otherwise and you ran with it. And if champagne got you drunk, drinking a whole bottle, that shows us you're a lightweight. So, Chad, I just want to know, why are you with a woman you don't trust? You say you love her, she your life, but you don't trust her. So basically, you don't trust your wife around any man. You think she'll sleep with this man. So let's say Jake wasn't your brother. Let's say this any man from, let's say, from around the corner. And Gwen played with your mind like she did then. Would you trust your wife? Or would you trust this new person that come in your life telling you and lying to you that your wife might be sleeping with that man right there on the corner? That's the man right there on the corner. If you don't trust your wife, I don't know why you even bothering at this point. Um, I'm not surprised that Dr. Ross finally told Chad the truth about Gwen and her motives and her plan. I'm not surprised or shocked by that. I'm not surprised or I'm not shocked by that. Basically, he owed it Chad that, so basically he ran with that and basically he used that and said, I'm loyal to your family and your dad, so of course I'll tell you everything. And he couldn't, he could have lied, but basically Gwen coming to see you them handful of times, she basically told on herself. Then mentioning scrambling Abigail brain with that drug, thinking it was thinking it was Gabby, but it was Gwen, and y'all didn't know her at the time, but she was in town, so basically I'm not surprised or shocked about none of that whatsoever. Like, it was bound to come out or whatever, so it was gonna come out eventually, and she was about to bust, so I'm glad she relieved her stress telling them what she been holding on after all these years. So can't wait to see your next plans move. Your next plan move and your next game move. Gabby coming back in at Gabby. Gabby. Let's be honest and let's be real here. You never liked Jake like that. So why are you trying to seduce this man? Trying to get back with this man, trying to start off where y'all left off at. Yes, y'all was getting, you finally broke your walls down and fell in love with this man. Don't blame Kate for picking up your pieces. Let's blame your no good behind daddy that think he's still a mob boss, think he's still a gangster at his old age, running around here getting himself in trouble, then got to scramble the whole family up and bring y'all back to where he left off with the trouble at, meaning the Mexico, because he still want to play daddy gangster all of a sudden at his age, getting himself in trouble, and then got to scramble y'all all up and bring y'all back to Mexico where y'all won't get in trouble because of the drama he caused in y'all life. Blame your daddy, Gabby. Don't blame nobody but your daddy. Your daddy is the reason why you missed out on Jake. Don't blame Kay. Don't blame nobody but your no good behind daddy. Because if your no good behind daddy wouldn't have did what he did, you wouldn't have lost Jake. After you finally let your walls down. He was disgusting. He was despicable to you. You couldn't stand him. You didn't like him at all. You fell in love with him after all this time. Now you want him back after Caitlyn got him. Gabby, I cannot and I will not with you. And I will not with you. Like, give it up, Gabby. You calling yourself trying to get your hands back on Gabby Sheik. Good luck with that. Like, at this point, you was putting your foot in your mouth the whole entire time talking to Jay. Then when Kate came in, you had a nerve and the audacity to play Let's Compare Crimes. Then you want to play that game all of a sudden. And basically, came down, one of y'all talk about each other. Y'all both did the most despicable things to people in each other. So, I don't know why y'all want to play Let's compare crimes and let me say I'm better than Kate. She did this, that, and that, and you did all this and that. Like, both of y'all childish at this point. And Gabby, blame your daddy. That's all I got to say. Blame your daddy for your troubles. Don't blame Kate. Don't blame nobody else. Blame your daddy for your actions. Well, for his actions. And anyways, dog, that was the episode. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all later. Enjoy the rest of y'all night and have a good weekend. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.